Hello, and welcome to Vibrelocity's YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be covering Rekordbox and how to organize playlists in a way that facilitates your creative flow while you're playing a DJ set. I'm not going to be going through the very basics of Rekordbox, but I will be explaining some features that are very useful. And I'll also show you how I organize my playlist to make it so I can easily freestyle a set or even plan a set ahead of time with room for freestyling as I see fit and as the audience reacts to the music I play. So let's get into it. First, I wanted to show you over here, I have all of my playlists organized very meticulously based off of energy level, first of all. So you see here, I have Sunrise, which is very, very like ambient, deep, soulful music. I have Warm Up, and that's broken down into different kind of vibes for when you're just getting people to inch out onto the dance floor. So I have Kicking It, which is like head bobbing, a little bit of nostalgia, lots of like hip hop instrumentals and that sort of thing in there. Feeling It is when people are just starting to move and get their bodies going on the dance floor. And Getting It is more of like they're in it and they're feeling it and you're ready to kind of pick up the energy. And that leads really obviously into prime time. Prime time being your high energy peak set, peak time slot set for the night. And so that includes different genres. We have breaks, which, similar to house, but obviously different drum structure. We have vibes, which is kind of like future bassy type stuff. Thumps, which is more like trap and twerk. Shuffles would be drum and bass, and then bangers is kind of a collection of all of them, but just really high energy headbanging music. I have a rave special playlist, which is just my throwback rave songs that I love that got me into electronic music. Tripping Out is more my heady stuff, late night, weird, pretty much bass music here. So we have Headbang, which is a lot of dubstep, a little bit of trap, and West Coast bass, that sort of thing. We have Tripping Out, Wook Step, which is more like glitch hop, trip hop. You think, Tipper. I also have like a lot of Pigeonhole in here. Just artists that really fit that vibe, the Wook vibe, you might say. Deep Wubs is more of your deep, dark, and dangerous, deep wubs, deep dubstep type music. Space Vibes is a collection of different genres, but includes, things like Closey, artists like that, very vibey music, but also kind of like spaced out music. Out There is my weird stuff, just like freeform, very strange, hard to classify music. I don't play these a lot, but every once in a while I'll throw one in a set. And then Shuffle Time, that would be drum and bass, but more of on the heavier side. And then I have Late Night. So Late Night is all about like vibey, closing out the dance floor, closing the club type music. So I have Double Time, which is also drum and bass, but more on the liquid tip. Late Night Vibing Out is more along the lines of garage and that sort of thing. A lot of garage in this playlist. Mid range is some of my R&B and R&B remixes, a little bit of future bass, just kind of like right in the middle tempo and just not too high energy, not too low energy, right where you want to kind of close out the night. And then slow jams, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then I've also broken up. So this is all like breakbeat music, all of these. And then I have house music. So that's your four to the floor. And I've broken those up into different subgenres or energy levels as well. And so I wanted to specifically go into one playlist, which this is in preparation for an event I have coming up. And what I've done here, this is for a house music show. And I've organized my songs first by BPM. And to do that, once you've dragged them into the playlist, you just click BPM and that'll organize them in that way. And then I've gone up here and renumbered the track order and then clicked this column so that everything is in the track order I want it, but then I can reorganize manually. So if I'm like, this song wants to go down here, I would just drag it down. So that's really useful once you've done your primary organization, your ordering by BPM, for instance, because then I can arrange the keys in the way that I want them to flow. And then I also have over here, I've labeled each song as a genre as well as an energy level. And with 10 being the highest, I have 110 in this playlist. And then also the level of vocals present in the track. So full is like, there's vocals throughout. Light means there's maybe just a few vocal samples. And then mid is like maybe a few lines of vocals, but not throughout the entire track. And then none would be none. So you have these as guides, right? None of this is a set rule by any means, but these are guides to help you if you're in the moment and you're like, I don't want to play this next song, it's not the right vibe for what is going down. Then you can change. You can easily go, okay, is this in key? Like if I'm jumping from here up to here, for instance, like F to A, F minor to A minor, is that going to sound good? And you can't always trust the key here that's analyzed by Rekordbox, but it is a useful guide. And then you can't always trust that, the energy level going up that you've classified it as is actually going to bring the energy up on the dance floor. So it's all going to be situation specific, but this at least helps you understand your music a little bit more completely. And so when you're in that moment and you're like, okay, I need to mix up what I had planned, or you're just freestyling the entire thing, you can quickly go through and understand what kind of track you're loading up without overthinking it. And that's the whole point of this, is putting in that forethought is going to save you time on the dance floor. And so I'm rarely spending probably more than 5 to 10 seconds picking my next song. And I've seen some DJs, even like big time DJs, spend like a minute and a half scrolling and looking for that next song. And to me, that would just be a vibe killer. Like I'd just be like, man, I can't, it's hard to dance while I'm picking this song and I'm thinking rather than feeling and listening to the music. So this is my approach. It's very useful for me. I encourage everyone to find their own approach, but this just gives you a really good framework for how to freestyle and how to understand your music a little bit more. So I hope that was helpful. Feel free to provide in the comments anything that you like to do to organize your playlists. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And if you have requests for additional videos, please let me know. Thanks so much. Have a great one. Peace.